Hello, my name is Siuli and I am the curator of the exhibition Weaving the Ocean at Warin Lab Contemporary. Weaving the Ocean is an ongoing project by artist Ari Bayuaji that seeks to transform plastic waste into works of textile art. Warin Lab Contemporary's programming focuses on the pressing social issues of our time, with a current focus on the environment and sustainability. Weaving the Ocean is a really special project that presents an artist's conciliatory and community-focused approach to the issue of plastic waste. By way of introduction, Ari Bayuaji is based between Bali and Montreal, and his works seek to address the challenges and issues of our time. Very often, his installations incorporate found objects from different cultures, which the artist has collected during his travels. Ari joins us now from his studio in Montreal. Hello, Ari. I just have a couple of interview questions for you. Now, first of all, Weaving the Ocean is a project that really started from the global pandemic and the ensuing travel lockdowns, and you found yourself stuck on the island of Bali for an extended period of time. So can you share with us what motivated you to start this project and what has sustained you?
The experience of being stuck in a place like Bali, it was not just for holiday. Basically, it was not stuck for a holiday, because it really gave me the thought of being in a place in a very difficult situation, because as we know that there are no tourists in Bali during the COVID crisis. So, and then my relationship with the materials I found, like the plastic rope, is not just about me and the materials and the art. It was also like my relationship with the people around me, the people that kind of suffering at the time. So that made me thinking like, what can I do with my art to give like a direct impact to the people around me? Because I used to work a lot at this studio, at my studio in Montreal. It's a big studio. It's kind of luxury compared to many other artists. So, and then I took it for granted. So working in Bali with the nature and then with the people that kind of depressed with the situation gave me idea to create something that gave like a direct impact to the people around me. So I really wanted my art to be kind of useful for others. That's, I think, a big move in my thinking as an artist.
How do you decide how to combine all the different objects that you have found? And what kind of stories do you want to tell through them?
I grew up in a collector family where actually my mom kept telling her children to collect things since we were in a very young age, because she believed that collecting something will teach us how to have a passion and also to build something from small until it's becoming a good thing. It's all about patience. When I grew up, I always collect something that I really love. You know, at the beginning, it was just like stones. I collected stones since I was very young age, and I kept some of them until now. I think that's the roots of my passion of materials. So I never judge an object when I found it to become something, never. Usually, if I bought something from the second-hand store or I found something on the street, I would keep it, and sometimes I leave them for many, many years until the object's telling me what to do with it. I bought this glass dome at a second-hand store because I found it's really beautiful. And then inside, it was from Balinese guidebook, like the travel guide. And then I just combined it with the broken glass vase I had. I think the combination of materials always intrigued me. How to combine something like a very hard and something really soft. To me, just expositions using different kind of materials can touch people's heart easily. Basically, this is a very old wooden toys that I bought when I was at university a long time ago. And then during my residencies in Indonesia, I used them as my sculptural installation material. So I played with them. It was a toy, so I decided to play with them. The history of the objects as the background of my working process, I think is very important. So to be surrounded by the old objects or the found objects at my studio, it means a lot to me because those objects have their own history. So it really helps me to do visualization. For example, something like this. It used to be the ankle bracelets, a very old piece, so it helps me to imagine, to visualize. As a visual artist, visualization is something very powerful. So by having something that helped me to imagine, to go farther beyond, it's very, very meaningful.
Now, in many ways, Weaving the Ocean continues your interest in transforming found or everyday objects into artworks through surprising and unexpected juxtapositions. I was wondering if you could show us around your studio a little bit more. Tell us about the objects that you have there and what they mean for you and how important they are for your practice and your thinking.
I found objects from so many different places in the world. So I always travel with materials I found. Sometimes like I brought some materials I found in Bali to Montreal, and I brought the materials from Montreal to Bali when I have to work there. For example, like concrete. Basically, concrete is always the same everywhere. But because of the location where I found it, I could find two different kinds of concrete forms. For example, like this. This concrete actually was a bigger wave breaker. Usually they construct a solid concrete wave breaker to protect beach. And because it was like hit by the wave over and over again, and it's becoming just like a smaller concrete like this. On the other side, I found this kind of concrete from the construction site in Montreal, and then to me that's fascinating how something with the same materials have completely different characteristics in the end. So I put them together sometimes just to give me an idea. I play with colors. So like I live with this maybe for around 7 or 8 years with me, but I never knew what I was going to do with it. And then after my last trip in Bali with the Weaving the Ocean projects, I decided to combine the concrete with the ceramics, blue and white ceramics, and the corals that grew on the plastic ropes. I think it's the combination of the material, the just position of the material is just very, very touching.
Let's come back now to Weaving the Ocean, which is the project that you're presenting at Warin Lab. Now, you've said before in an interview that when you speak about this project to people, you avoid using the word pollution when referring to the plastic waste because you don't see yourself as an activist, but you prefer to focus on the transformation of everyday or found objects into high art. Nonetheless, you've also said that you are inspired by the contemporary challenges that we are having in our time, one of which is, of course, the environmental issue. In your opinion, what role can art play in addressing the environmental urgencies of our time?
As an artist, I don't want to be put in a box. The same thing like I don't want people just know me as an activist, as an environmental activist, because I'm still growing. I still have to do so many things. I have so many interests into many different challenges in our community and in the world. It is important that I'm always challenged by the situation around me to create an artwork. There are so many materials out there. There are stories, there are objects, there are challenges that we need to face. I will be very happy if in some ways my art give impacts, give like a maybe direct impacts to so many people as possible, because I really believe that being an artist is doing a spiritual job. I always believe that my art should touch other people's heart. I think it's very important. That's how I've been approaching my sensitivity toward the art.
How did being stuck in Bali for an extended period of time influence your thinking and the way you conceived of this project and its aims?
Weaving the Ocean project, well, I've been using plastic ropes, like found plastic ropes, abandoned plastic ropes from the beach, from the mangrove areas. But to me, I really have to think that those plastic ropes are just material. It is just a material. So I always believe that this project just help a tiny bit of how we deal with the plastic rubbish. Basically, it's really nothing. So I don't want to call myself as an environmental hero. What I can do as an artist basically on this time is just to give an example. What I can do with this, how I deal with the plastic rubbish as the material. So I think that's how it works. And then I show the examples to people around me. You know, with people in Bali, I talk to the kids on the beach when they were asking about like what I'm going to do with the plastic rope. So I explain about the danger of the plastic ropes for the turtle, for the fish, those kind of things. And then when I talk to the fishermen, for example, and then I just try to engage some conversation with them. And then in the end, some of them really helped me to find the plastic ropes. So it's all about also the story of the plastic rubbish, and then how even during the process, it helps other people to think and to understand about the characteristic of the plastic, the potential, what is around us. I think it's very important.